on W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for the great Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. You all have me the next 4 days. Jay, are you with me the next 4 days?
It's the double Jason.
That's right.
For the rest of the week, man.
You all are fully blessed to be represented by Jason and Jason, the new dynamic duo at The Truth 101.7 FM. And so today we're going to have a guest in our studio, Dr. Aronica Williams, talking about the clinic and some mental health issues. And so I'm looking forward to that discussion at 5. And again, I think tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about, you got some political stuff going on. And you all know my favorite topics tend to be money, power, influence, politics somewhat, and spirituality, the whole nine. So we're going to try to cover a lot of that during the 4 days you all have me. I'm going to try to be captivating and give you all a chance to call in and express your views. And you all know I like to start with questions because I haven't had a chance to touch base with you all around the new excitement around Vice President Kamala Harris and just some things that I've been noticing since, she's come out, and not just her, but the question, before we get to 5 o'clock, so here's where I'm coming from. A lot of times we talk about race and things of that nature, and unfortunately, and I'm fighting with myself, you all, on how much I should pay attention to just the social media, because I see just weird, quite honestly, dumb stuff. It's like nobody pays attention. Everybody's taking things out of context. Nobody researches. It's all opinion-based stuff. And normally smart people lose out, right? Because 90% of the people just saying stuff because that's kind of what social media has turned to. And unfortunately, fortunately, that's where a lot of people are getting their news from. And so I wanted to start off today with a couple of questions because I've noticed some things that, one, personally I've been going through. Tasha and I have talked about some of this stuff. Can you like one black person and still be a racist? And I want you all to hit the talk and text line and chime in and call in. Can you be married to someone of African or black descent, however you want to call it, and still be a racist? Can you help out, let's say, 5 black business owners with money that you don't expect to get paid back and still be a racist? Here's why I asked that question, because what I've seen, I saw a lot of race things being drummed up, talked about, and I see this sort of, some of these black folks who are for Kamala Harris, and particularly the ones who are not. And I saw Judge Joe Brown, or former Judge Joe Brown, and he was saying how he didn't think Donald Trump is a racist. An example he gave was because Donald Trump invested or gave several black people money, investments in their businesses. I also saw a guy on social media, and this was, if you all have been watching the Olympics, again, I don't get a chance to watch a lot of it. I usually go to YouTube to watch the recaps. But in gymnastics, I believe we had, for the first time ever, 3 black women in positions 1, 2, and 3. Gold, silver, bronze. And one white guy chimed in and he said, hey, I'm a Simone Biles fan. And he said, but if it were 3 white people, would we be allowed, or would we be able to say the same thing? And to which a lot of people responded and said, well, quite honestly, you've already had that. That's not necessarily special because it's been that way since the dawn of time. And so I wanted to put this out there because I'm seeing a lot of this stuff. And honestly, I want us to have this solution-based kind of discussion to help some of our other brothers and sisters understand some of the issues around race. Brian from Milwaukee, you're on The Truth. What do you got for us, Brian?
I saw that podcast and a lot of Judge Joe Brown's opinions of Miss Harris. Mm-hmm. And I think the problem is this: everybody is a racist. The problem comes in when you are a bigot. Okay? Not everybody's going to meet everybody. Not everybody's going to like everybody. There are some white folks you just like. And white folks, from their opinion, they're just some black folks they like, period. Okay? So when it comes down to doing what's best for your particular situation at the time, if somebody gets in your way, if you're not going to like them, you're not going to like them. But if things are more beneficial to you with a certain group of people, of course, yeah, you're going to be with those people. And that's where the term racism comes in. But the problem comes in when you're bigoted, when you look at people, no matter what their color of their skin, if their color is different from yours, if you look at those people as somebody you just don't like, period, and that's your right not to like them, period. But if you want to do things to their demise, that's where the issue comes in.
So, Brian, let me ask you this. So, can you? Because I love what you're saying. I appreciate you calling. So, let me ask you this: can you still be bigoted towards black people and married to a black person?
Yes, because I'm sure that let's be specific. Her husband's white. Okay, he's not gonna like black folks that act ghetto around. Let's say that somebody black comes into their space and they're acting ghetto in their space. Let's say if they were going to a restaurant or something like that, or something before they even got elected to, before she even got elected to where she is. Let's say she wasn't even a vice president. Let's say she was just going out to dinner with her white husband or something like that. If he took her to a place that had a certain group of people that may have been black, may have been Asian, but if they were acting negative, he's not going to like those people. He's going to go into this. That's just human nature to have that stereotype, because since the beginning of this country, we've all been programmed to act a certain way based on the skin color. So there's no way you can get away from that. The only people that can possibly get away from that are newborn babies. But we all know that our newborn babies are raised by their parents. Now, if our newborn babies coming up are raised by a sterile environment where there's inclusion of all colors of skin, then we'd have a chance for them not to be bigoted in the future. But as it stands now, there's going to be bigotedness, and there's going to be biases no matter what's going on now with our particular people. There's going to be bigots. There's going to be bigots. There's going to be preferential treatment. There's going to be opinions no matter what. That's just the way it's going to be.
Brian, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Thanks for chiming in, brother. I appreciate it. Line 2, we have White Widow from Milwaukee, I believe. Or
Yes. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. What I'd like to say is that you talked a little bit about how everybody is so influenced. If not influenced, they're mesmerized by social media.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind, everybody that once again, the Supreme Court has ruled that, misinformation from Facebook and Meta is absolutely legal. The ruling came out recently. And it was interesting because after Biden withdrew, he made a public statement that there must be 18-year term limits on the Supreme Court because they're so out of touch. And I think all of the recent rulings and the fact that they really don't bring anything of substance that affects the masses, even to their court, is exemplary. It exemplifies that. So unfortunately, unlike Australia, France, England, Canada, the civilized countries, there's our laws. And it's not just political misinformation. It's the misinformation from the pedophile who's 43 telling your 12-year-old in the bedroom he's 13.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we have a country who still, I don't know the premise of the basis behind that freedom of speech. I don't think so. If you ran into a theater and yelled fire, you can get arrested. I mean, come on now. So, but unfortunately, we live in a country that doesn't take that into consideration, and it's just a way to keep the country dummied down. Those kids who, we go to MPS, what chance in hell have you got? 58% graduation rate. And so what are they going to do? They're going to, there's nothing out there as far as the parks or anything. And you're going to get and it keeps our youth and just everybody else dummied down.
Well, White Widow, I appreciate that. I appreciate you calling in, and stay tuned for tomorrow because we'll be having some issues. We'll be talking about MPS. Al, you're online. You're on The Truth with Dr. Ken in the afternoon. What you got for me, Al?
Well, my thing is I will never hate the person's skin color, but I will go against their character and their integrity, what you should base your decisions off of. But this is where it gets rich, because we have Donald Trump, who is ghetto and ratchet and uncouth and low class of all, who cannot get a loan by anybody in the United States because his credit is shot like most of his marriage. But people love his funky draws. I just want y'all to have a good day, and I just wanted to share that information. Take care.
Al, it's not even, I know it's valid that I'm on the show, once you call in, So, because I always enjoy your take. And we're going to have more of this conversation on the other side. On The Truth with Dr. Ken Harris in the afternoon. We'll see you on the other side.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing, streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 101.7 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
When your child has an asthma attack, it's terrifying. You grab the inhaler as fast as you can. My son Khalil, he can't live without his inhaler, but they're expensive. The big drug companies charge families like ours $600 a month. And you know what they actually cost to make? $5. Just $5. That's why Senator Tammy Baldwin launched an investigation to crack down on those companies. And you know what? Tammy Baldwin got 3 of the biggest drug companies to lower the price of inhalers to no more than $35 a month. Tammy Baldwin, that's big savings for my family. And for a lot of families, we're breathing a lot easier. There are politicians who do a lot of talking, but Tammy Baldwin, she delivers.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I'm running for Senate, and I approve this message. I don't work for the drug companies. I work for you. Paid for by Tammy Baldwin for Senate.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven Center for Home Care, a successful Center for Employment, a Center for Trauma Recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
She knows. This is The Truth with in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for the great Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. And before we went to the break, the question on the table, because I don't want to say like this is new, right? We've dealt with race. We're still dealing with race. But I've been looking at it, and oftentimes race, the discussions are exacerbated, or they come out more when you have these scenarios like what we have now, where Vice President Kamala Harris is now leading in some polls. This was as of August 6, 2024. Who's leading the polls? National polling average has Harris up 48%, Trump 47%. And that was a large change or switch from President Biden being behind. And so as I'm looking at social media, and I love the fact that someone called in and discussed how really social media, we have to be very mindful, you all, because now more than ever, people are getting inundated with just a litany, a mirage of information. And it's coming from everybody, everyone. And we have to get to a point where we're sophisticated enough to either be willing to invest in learning some things on our own, or we run the risk of just taking what's being fed to us by anybody and running with it. I mean, and we have to admit, and you all, there are people who are on social media who deliberately post just misinformation. There are people who I've seen post people's death. And you have to be a sick individual to think that that's funny. Whether it's a celebrity or anybody, the idea that you would post about someone dying, that's never been funny. And so as I look at a lot of this race stuff that we're dealing with, the question on the table is, can you be cool with one black person and still be a racist, still be a bigot? Can you be married to a person, a black person, or a white person and still be a racist or bigot? And a lot of this stems from, I was watching a clip of Judge Joe Brown. I was watching some of these clips between black folks who are against Kamala Harris or not standing up for her. And my question to those individuals would be, well, what's the alternative? And because I understand that at some point, we've all have gotten sick and tired of voting for the worst of two evils. I get it. We've all gotten tired of that. However, you're an idiot if you believe that there isn't a worst of two evils. You can be tired of it. That does not neglect your duty to make a better choice. I didn't say it has to be the best choice, but it has to be a better choice. And for those of you, particularly African Americans and black folks, and again, I'm not necessarily telling you who to vote for because I don't believe in telling people who to vote for. I do want to know that have you weighed everything? And when I say have you weighed everything, have you weighed the idea that if you allow a person who has been convicted of sexual misconduct, of fraud, of starting riots, and so if you allow this person to become the president, then what does that say about the criminal justice system? Now, if you black, you kind of already know that it was never in your favor. But that said, if you allow somebody to come and get away with all the things that they've gotten away with, now you're taking it a step further and saying, hey, for the right white person, and I don't even know if it's not this way now, but you can't make the argument that now we need to pay attention to all the laws. For what? Because we've just shown with a number of examples that the laws don't matter. We've just shown that to a certain degree, the Supreme Court, which should be by a nonpartisan branch of government, a branch of government that should be held to a standard where they don't pick favorites, they don't pick their friends, but we're seeing that be dismantled as it is, as we speak. I saw, the reason why I'm talking about this is I saw Neil Gorsuch, just Supreme Court Justice, I think it's Neil Gorsuch, make a statement that the Biden administration shouldn't be weighing in on the Supreme Court in term limits and things of that nature because now it'll start to get political. And I was hoping somebody would say to Supreme Court Justice Neil, hey, you guys made it that way. When you sat there and ignored a good chunk of the laws that would be applied to any other person in normal circumstances, you've ignored that yourselves. When you have justices that are, in fact, going against the appearance of appearing partial or non-partial, you've allowed that to happen. You have Clarence Thomas, who every time you turn around, he's getting taken on private jets and all these things, and none of this stuff is disclosed. You have another Supreme Court justice whose wife is hanging outside their yard, signs that say, and I support this people, or we support, or taking a position. And whether you agree with Justice Alito's position or not, you should know better. As long as you've been in the game, and the fact that you didn't know better, or the fact that you didn't talk to your wife and go, hey, you know we can't do that, that leads me to believe that your faculties are in question. It's not always what you do, it's what you don't do also. And so I'm looking at all these things and how we as a people respond and react to this stuff. And now you see certain black folks buying into this stuff. Well, we're not going to support her because she's black. Look, I get that. I'm all for, hey, I don't necessarily believe we should be supporting people just because they black. Because quite honestly, where has that gotten us? However, when you look at what she's done, let's take away the fact that she's the vice president. She was an attorney general. She became a U.S. senator. It's not like she's a dummy. We can disagree with some of the decisions she's made, but it's not like she's an idiot. We can disagree with policies all day long. But when we get to a point where we're seeing we would rather have someone who has been convicted, not just charged, of breaking the law, and then trying to sway the return or the punishments in his favor to not be held accountable, what do we all think will happen? And so I don't want us to get to a point where we think sometimes because somebody is cool with one black person, that doesn't mean they have tendencies where they hate us all. And that can be applied to any culture. And so my question is, are we looking at making decisions based on, who we believe will put us in a better scenario? Again, all politics are local. So the idea that the president has control over gas prices, they don't. That's a misnomer. That's a myth. The president doesn't have control over that. Now, they'll play up to it because they know that most people will look to them. And so they'll take the credit when gas prices go down, although they have nothing to do with that. We have a number of issues where when we talk about race, it is just getting to a point where even us among ourselves in our own community are now going against qualified people who've always had to work harder. Now we got black folks questioning, is Kamala Harris black? As if she can't be black and Indian. Her father is Jamaican. And I don't know about y'all, Jay, but, unless you white, if you got a drop of black blood in you, you black.
And it's the fact that he Afro-Jamaican.
Right.
So it's like...
right. That's a little bit more... Like, it's not a lot of room where you can be like, nah, she ain't. She is. And then we see things like the host on Fox News, I forget his name, when she went to make a discussion or present or talk to the wonderful, awesome ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, although she's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. He says colored sororities. Y'all, we're still in... Jay, I got to be honest. I'm like, it's 2024, man.
When I heard that, I was like, oh, my God. Like, I literally froze because it's like, wait, what?
Let me ask you this question. Jay, how old are you?
24.
24. I'm 50, so I'm almost twice your age. Good Lord. What's your take on this whole Kamala Harris thing? Do you think she's going to win?
See, I don't understand the people who saying she's not black. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
It honestly make no sense to me. If you are because if that's the case, is Obama black? He was half white. So, man, she more ethnic regardless.
Technically speaking, she could be considered more black than Obama.
No, literally.
You make a good point.
No, that's what I know. I don't understand the race relations. And I just don't understand. Well, I know what any politician, you go pick apart every single thing they've done. Even with J.D. Vance, they coming out doing the same thing. So I get that. But when you come to the point where it's disrespectful to sit here and question her race and her racial identity when she's come out and said multiple times, I'm a black woman.
Yeah. And I think this is where some of the, people who may not consider themselves racist, that it's racist in the sense that when you take your platform, and this is something Chris Christie said. He said when President Donald Trump is in danger, he starts going to the old playbook. And you can start seeing the questioning and the validity. Did the same thing with President Obama. Well, he's not from here. You're seeing the same playbook. Well, when did she become black? First off, you got to have some balls to even make that kind of statement. And then what really kills me, man, and this is that other black folks didn't go, hey, you out of bounds, bro. You going too far, president or not.
And you know what's even crazier? You know who the person who was pushing that Obama not black and where's the birth certificate? Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Same playbook. Michael, you're on The Truth 101.7. What you got for us, Michael?
Oh, man, I was hoping you had something for me. I'm just joking. Just joking, man. Just joking. But, the people are going back and forth. It's Kamala black. Well, technically speaking, she is. Whether you think she acts black or not, that's beside the point. Whether you like her or not, it's beside the point. The reason I say she's black, I'm being very technical here. Well, she's from India. Well, actually, what people forget, or maybe they didn't know, a lot of the Indians, the original Indians in India, migrated from Ethiopia and from different parts of Africa. Mm-hmm. So she's descended from Africa in the first place. Plus the fact that her father's Jamaican too, also African descendant. And you weren't lying when you say she's more black than President Obama. That's a lot more true than people know because the original Asians were black.
Yeah.
Those Asians that you see today, the light-skinned ones, those are mulattoes. And I'm not saying that as a put-down, but those are mulattoes. There maybe some Africans and the South Asians, they had a mixture. But, she's black. She may not be African-American black. If you want to say, well, she's not African-American, I don't know. You might be right because she's not descended from African slaves. But yeah, I don't see how you can deny it. And let's be honest. If you didn't know this is Kamala, right? We didn't know her background. We saw her on the street. We wouldn't, but I wasn't thinking about it. Right. We would assume she was, am I right?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
before you go, last question, do you think she's going to win before we go to the break? You think she's going to win or you think he'll win?
I personally think she's going to win. Again, like it or not, whether a person likes it or not, this isn't personal. Come on. First of all, Donald Trump's approval ratings was high because of the debate between him and Biden. We won't get into that, and there's no insult to President Biden. I don't consider myself Democrat or Republican, by the way. I'm kind of apolitical. I will vote, but I'm kind of apolitical. But I think she'll win because, number one, the points are higher. Number two, you got a lot of women voting for her. Number three, your President Trump, I'm just messing with you, man, won't even debate her. He's not going to debate her.
All right.
And I know why. Some people ask me, well, who do you think will win between the debate between Trump and Kamala? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a prosecutor.
I got to go to a break. I appreciate it. Sean and Security Mike, hold on for me. I'll get to you right as soon as we come back from the break. You're on The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll have more of this conversation on the other side. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
Welcome to A La Carte at the Zoo. May I take your order?
Yes, I'll have the tater tots, a guitar solo, and a side of otter splashes, please.
Excellent choice. Coming right up.
Don't miss Milwaukee's wildest combination of food, music, and fun. It's A La Carte at the Zoo, presented by Meijer August 15th through 18th. Sample food from local vendors. Live music from headliners such as Deep Blue Something. Parmalee. She feels like Carolina, looks like California. And the legendary Wailers. All while taking in the spectacular sights and sounds of the zoo. It's a feast for the senses. See why A La Carte at the Zoo has become a can't-miss Milwaukee summer tradition. Get tickets in advance at any Tri-City National Bank or MilwaukeeZoo.org. Doors open daily at 9:30 a.m.
Learn from experts at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Their faculty are recognized worldwide as leaders in their fields. You'll get to know them in small classes and through hands-on learning opportunities that provide real-world experience. Choose from more than 200 programs. Plus, new UWM freshmen are automatically considered for merit scholarships. You can receive up to $6,000 over 4 years. Find out why thousands of students are choosing the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Apply now.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now, Milwaukee. You know, perspective is essential. What I found is the news behind the news is more important. I want you to leave my show with a sense of knowing what was missing that adds depth to the conversation. Tune in Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. on the new 101.7 The Truth, the Truth app, or 101.7thetruth.com.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start digging, planting, or landscaping on your property, call 811 to have underground utilities marked. Calling 811 at least 3 business days before you plan to dig will help you know what's below and can prevent a hazardous situation. Our representatives will mark the underground utilities on your property for free. So remember, stay safe and call before you dig.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
We do have an accident on 894 northbound at Beloit Road off on the right shoulder, so watch out for delays there. Southbound on 41, heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Hampton. Southbound on 43 from Hampton all the way down past Keefe, and then again right through the Marquette interchange. Northbound 43 is going to be heavy from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy and comfortable, a low of 63. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, a high of 74 at the lake, 78 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth. It's powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. The Brewers are back in action today in Atlanta as they begin a 3-game set. They open up the day with a 6-game lead in the NL Central. Colin Ray expected to get the start for the Crew. First pitch is set for 6:20. Over to the NFL as the Packers hit the practice field for the first time this week following their family night over the weekend. Head coach Matt LaFleur confirming some starters, including Jordan Love, are expected to get some snaps in the team's first preseason game on Saturday in Cleveland.
Last year, having all the guys play, I thought it was beneficial for us early on, especially week 1. We'll be smart with them, but at the same time, I do think the preparation of getting ready for a game is invaluable.
And lastly, Giannis's run in the Olympics came to an end after Greece fell to Germany by a final score of 76-73. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. Truth Nation, now is your chance to be our one call, that's all, Gruber 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number, let's say, 12 right now at 833-212-1017. And you will be entered in to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 101.7 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, that is caller number 12 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. And August is Black Business Month, and the award-winning 101.7 The Truth is teaming up with Associated Bank to celebrate the excellence of Black-owned businesses in our community. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting black businesses, and this is why Carrie Noni will be spotlighting 4 black businesses in Milwaukee and telling the story of their success. Also, do not forget to go to blackbusinessgiveback.com for your chance to win 3 months of free advertising on The Truth. Truth Nation, we encourage you to buy black all month long. Whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC. So we are talking about, wow, a lot of lines. Can people still be cool if black people still be racist, bigoted? We are talking about Kamala Harris and all this new race stuff that's popping up. So we're going to go down the line. Line 1, we have Sean from line 1 from Milwaukee. Sean, what you got for us?
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. I'm thinking with regard to Kamala, this race issue, I think that's really the only thing that Trump has to pull on her at this time. I mean, after all, it was his people that designated the one-drop rule. So I don't even know how there's a question of what her race is. He just didn't have anything else to go on in terms of substance, I think. And Kamala Harris, she's she's identified with being black a long time, particularly if she's belonging to a black sorority. And he probably knows nothing about that. But all he can go on is, I'm thinking, she doesn't know what race she is. She doesn't know what color it is. That's all he has to go on, really. But the one-drop rule, if he's thinking of what color she is, he can just resort back to this country's one-drop rule.
That's the rule I go with.
Exactly. That's always been the rule. So I don't even know what this confusion is about.
Sean, thank you for the call. We appreciate you. We have Teresa on line 1. What you got for us, Teresa? Security Mike. Sorry, Security Mike. We got you.
Well, how you doing, young fellas?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just at work. I listen to these 3 playbacks from 4 to 12. But it's going to get ugly, man. This is going to be the worst election. And my thing is just a pinch of black. And you black. So
not
I don't know
drop,
Trump don't have. Not even a drop, just a pinch, man, because we that strong. And the brothers and sisters that's hanging on to Trump and then trying to question Kamala, they're just selling out. So I say it's gonna get ugly with that Vance guy. He's more racist than Trump. And I got a feeling they're going to get so frustrated that their N-word or something close is going to come out. Something very close is going to come out. So that's all I got to say. And she's going to blow them out. No debate. Trump's not going to debate her. They already saying Trump is a coward because he don't want to debate her. And I don't think he's going to debate her. So that's all I got to say.
I appreciate your call, man. So, Jay, you got some stuff from the talk and text line.
For sure.
Let me have it, Jay.
All right, so let's see. First we got, let me scroll down. First we got Marcus. He said, I believe all presidents were racist. That's why I go with policy, which is facts. We got Karan. He said, there are some non-questionable blacks who are only black on the outside for show.
We can't deny that.
I get that.
It is what.
We got Uncle Tom.
But Uncle Tom is that we have to do a segment on that Uncle Tom, Jay, because actually Uncle Tom was not the Uncle Tom we think he was.
Oh wow,
I know, right? Me and you gonna do a show on that. Maybe we'll try to squeeze it in Friday or something.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We got Karan also said, "Go Harris, go to the win." So obviously we know who he was. Kamala. And then that's it. Then we got Mary Lee saying, "Can I call?" Yeah, Mary Lee, call Marley. Marley can call anytime.
So, thank you all for calling in. It's been great. Make sure you all become that 12th caller for that free advertising. It is. I do believe that she will win. And the reason why I believe she'll win is because I think at some point they will get to a point where they're going to allow Donald Trump to shoot himself in the foot. I think we're seeing evidence of that. And before I continue, Jay, why don't we go to a break and then come back and we'll have more of this conversation on The Truth with Dr. Ken Harris, the new 1017 The Truth. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's Telly Hughes from Truth Be Told with Denise Thomas and Telly Hughes, and I have to let you know that the best morning show in the country is streaming live on YouTube every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, DT and I are now waking you up in the a.m. live every weekday on YouTube. So go to YouTube right now to subscribe to 1017 The Truth so you can watch Denise and I get your morning started off right. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Cousin Subs just got better. With our newest mobile app update, we've made it easier to purchase your favorite subs and sides with Apple or Google Pay, and the ability to make split payments. And that's not all. Can we get your digits? Sign up today for our new text messaging program to unlock exclusive coupons and offers at cousinsubs.com or via our app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hey y'all, have you heard of Liberate MKE? We're building power for our community for our voices to be heard. We are addressing community issues by redistributing funds from the city budget into public health, housing, libraries, and more. Did you know the Milwaukee Police Department got $300 million last year and public health didn't even get a fraction of that? We're focused on funding life, not violence. If you want to be a part of that, come join us. You can find us at liberatemke.com.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I want to hear all that. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to talking about some what you need. I don't remember none of that.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. The Truth Family Fest is back. The award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to announce our second annual Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 17th at Riverside University High School from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We are bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There will be live music, delicious food, and we will be giving away backpacks, school supplies, and much more. So mark your calendars for this exciting event and come out to enjoy the music, food, and fun at our second annual Truth Family Fest, which is on Saturday, August 17th at Riverside University High School from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Truth Family Fest is presented by Associated Bank, Your Money Works Here, and sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, UW Milwaukee, Gruber Law Offices, Erie Insurance, American Family Insurance, Outreach Community Health Centers, Greater Milwaukee Urban League, and Ascension, Wisconsin, and MATC. So we are discussing, before all the race stuff that we see happening And unfortunately, there are times where I go, are we still talking about this stuff? Where to a certain, we shouldn't be discussing people's race. In a perfect world, we particularly shouldn't be discussing Kamala Harris's race, because she has, whether we believe it or not, she has shown that she has the skill set and has went through the vetting process to get to where she's at. She has shown that she has the intellectual capacity. Now, I'm not saying that means people agree with some of her policies, but the idea that this African-American black woman who is where she at because it was just a DEI hire, which I don't think it was just a DEI hire, to downplay that and make it just about her race is a disservice to all the folks who have managed to do things in spite of race. So, Hetty, line 2 from Milwaukee, what do you got for us?
Hi, I'd just like to say originally I thought that Kamala Harris could not win the race because she was a black woman and this is a white man's world. But since she has decided to run, I am fully behind her, and I believe that she can win if we all get behind her. And we need not just black women and black men, but we need other races of people to get behind her, because this is not just about her. This is about democracy. We have to maintain democracy. And so I just want you to know I had change of heart, and I'm fully behind her.
Hetty, I appreciate that. And I think you make a great point that it isn't, I think we all went through that process, right, Hetty? I remember when Barack Obama first ran for office. Jay, I was honestly like, yeah, we're not ready. We're not ready. And I got to be honest, the world surprised me. And not to mention that the President Obama, and I'm gonna get Milwaukee for a minute, brother was smooth, man. I mean, listen, if it was a black person that you wanted to be the president, he was it. No scandals, no nothing. Clean as they come. Articulate. And I hate when we do that, but the brother could talk, and he wasn't just verbally graceful and strong, but highly intellectual. And then had a beautiful black woman who was just, if not smarter and better, right there with him. And so what they did, not just for black folks, but for the world, man, to go, hey, when we put our best forward, it was us. You know what I mean? It was us, Jay. When we put our best, it was us.
You want to know something? I think that if Kamala had a black husband, we probably wouldn't even be hearing all of this much. I think the fact that her husband is white, people are looking at it and questioning stuff.
Really?
And I think that shouldn't matter at all.
It shouldn't. But we listen. Let me disclaimer, bro. I would just go ahead. When Joe Biden first ran back in 2019, when I was still in office, I was the first elected official to endorse him publicly because I knew he was going to win. And here's why I knew he was going to win. I knew older black people were going to vote for him, which they did. And you all can find this out. You can type up Journal Sentinel, first elected official to endorse Joe Biden. It was me. Now, we should have a discussion or some questions about whether we think Joe should have stepped down, whether people think whether he was forced out or not, because there are different opinions on that. I think it worked well for all of us that he did, because to Hetty's point, I'm starting to see white guys for Kamala Harris. I had a white woman invite me and my wife to a fundraiser that a bunch of white women was throwing for Kamala Harris. I see you see all these new found groups and organizations. And so I think what we should do is really move it off of race, because, again, I think that does a disservice, because I think what happens is people start to get caught up on stuff that's not significant. And you downplay the fact that she's where she's gotten to. You can't just be a dummy. You can't just be fine to get to these places, man. You can't just be smooth and cool to go through the ranks and to get to where she's gotten to. You cannot be, just a DEI hire to become the first African-American woman vice president, in the country. And so I think we do a disservice when we don't focus on her qualifications and her skill set. Now, I will say this, and this was my point. I got a black wife. I'm all for people who love who you love, but it's different when you see the sister, because as a black man, you go, and I think sisters go through this too. You couldn't find a brother? I got to be honest with you. That hit me. Like, you couldn't find a brother? Shit, AK, I'm an alpha. It wasn't no bros. It wasn't no bros around.
That's what I'm saying.
So, we go through that. But it does not diminish, I think, the respect and value that I have for her because of how she's managed it and where she's gotten to. Now, I wonder, Jay, are you right? If she had a black husband, you don't think we'd be having the same discussion?
No, I don't.
You either, Zach, y'all don't think we'd be having
race.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think we're having it? Not because she has a white husband. You know what? Let's deal with this stuff after we come back from the break, and before our guest gets here. But we're talking about Vice President Kamala Harris and this whole race issue. So this is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll return on this discussion on the other side. We'll be right back.
Coming with straight truth.
When you mix anything with white supremacy, it fails. I think feminism is great. I really do. I want women to be as feminist as they want to be and fight for their rights, because as a man, I literally lose nothing. That's the same mode of thinking where people believe if African Americans have total equality and fairness, that white people are going to lose something. No, they won't. Won't lose anything.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Milwaukee Black Talk.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Research shows that high-quality teachers have the greatest impact on student success during the school day. By shaping their students, they are shaping the future. Yet while actors have Oscars, musicians have Grammys, and athletes have gold medals, exemplary educators who prepare every profession are just not recognized enough. The Milken Educator Awards set out to change that by surprising outstanding educators across the nation with $25,000 prizes and providing a platform to celebrate, elevate, and activate the profession.
Erica Stevens!
The awards were created by Lowell Milken of the national nonprofit Milken Family Foundation. The journey to surprising the 3,000th Milken Educator is in full swing. Who will be next?
Honey, they chose me.
Celebrate teachers, value teachers, thank teachers.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I push through all the challenges.
Oh, she's calling in.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
Good afternoon. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. I am Jason Fields, filling in for the great Dr. Ken while he is on assignment. And we have our guest, one of the best, I should say, Dr. Aronica Williams-Murray, Chief Medical Officer of one of the greatest community health centers in the city. What's up, Doc?
Hello. Good afternoon. How are you?
Trying to be like you when I grow up, just running things. So they sent me a bunch of stuff that I could read, but I'm not going to go into all this stuff because I want to hear from you on our show. And let's start with a little bit about your background, and then where are you operating off of? So at 85th and Silver Spring?
I'm all over. Right now, I'm at our downtown location, 2555 North Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, right there on Martin Luther King Drive and Clark Street. Okay,
so you're doing all locations wherever they need you. And
exactly,
because you got it like that. That's so. Tell me a little bit. 35 years as a chief medical officer. Yes. Am I correct? And listen,
No.
Okay, because I looked at your picture and I was like,
35 years for the organization.
Because I looked at your picture, Doc. I'm like, no. What is she eating and drinking? So tell us a little bit about it, because it's Health Week, National Health Week, if I'm correct. Or month.
Yes, it is National Health Center Week. So all over the country, every August, the National Association of Community Health Centers sponsors National Health Center Week to celebrate and increase awareness of America's 1,400 community health centers. So National Health Center Week falls this week, August 4th through the 10th. So that's what we are celebrating this week.
And so treat me like a novice, the difference between a community health center and what your mission is versus like an urgent care, things of that nature, meaning we need you in our community. What's the difference for those of us who may not know?
Okay, so community health centers, also known as community clinics, federally qualified health centers, or FQHCs is our acronym. We are community-driven, nonprofit clinics located in geographically underserved areas or serving populations that are medically underserved. And so our mission is to provide affordable, comprehensive care to all, regardless of their income or their insurance status. So that's really the take-home message of FQHCs or community health centers.
And so you do that again. It's an open door policy, I'd assume, meaning you don't have to have an appointment, and it can be for anything. It doesn't have to be in an emergency or you're getting rushed there. It can be, hey, we need this kind of service. We need help. We can come to the health organ, the clinic, and see you all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we do operate by appointment. We do have some ability for walk-ins, but what we do here, so I represent Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated. We'll talk a little bit about my organization in a little bit, but as you mentioned, we're celebrating 35 years this year, so more to come with respect to that. But federally qualified health centers, our aim is to provide full spectrum. So what we do at our clinics, we provide full spectrum primary care. So that's family medicine, internal medicine, women's health, pediatrics. So patients of all ages for your primary care, so that's your high blood pressure, your diabetes. If you have an urgent concern, like you're having a cough or a cold or some other complaints, we're able to take care of patients of all ages. And so we operate primarily by appointments, but we do have some availability to accommodate walk-ins. So we can get you in same day. If not same day, next day.
So tell us more about your organization and what you all are doing there, and why, and how we need to continue to support you in this community.
Absolutely. So I serve as the Chief Medical Officer at Milwaukee Health Services. So I am a family physician. I've been a physician for 19 years, so not 35 years. But I am a family physician born and raised in Milwaukee. And our mission at MHSI is to provide accessible, quality primary and related health care services to Milwaukee residents with a continuing emphasis on medically underserved families. So we aim to be the most accessible, effective, efficient community-based health care provider, specifically serving medically underserved families and individuals. So we've been in business since 1989. We've been committed to removing barriers, improving health outcomes, and providing and promoting quality of life to reduce disparities among racial and ethnic communities. Now, we know there are certain things that are more prevalent in our communities, but even things that may not necessarily be as prevalent, we tend to die more. So we have to educate our communities, and we are purposely and uniquely positioned in communities of need. So I mentioned I'm right now talking to you from the MLK location. We have another site on 82nd and Silver Spring on Milwaukee's northwest side. So I'll pause there for any questions that you have.
Yeah, it's great. What would you say is, what do you see as, name some of those disparities? I know we know them all. And then with organizations like yours, how can we as a community help support helping reduce some of those metrics where we're not the worst off? I mean, what are you seeing out there, and how can we as a community help you in this mission?
Absolutely. So, of course, we know high blood pressure and diabetes. I often joke and say we can't control our genes, but we can control what we put in our genes, right? So really it's about education, diet and exercise, understanding how to make our food flavorful, but not full of salt and sugar, not eating a lot of processed food. Our ancestors lived off the land, right?
Right.
So we need to get back to really growing and eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, and really feeding our body so that we are eating to live, not living to eat. And so we have so many different resources that we, have at our clinics to provide education. I mentioned those primary care areas, but also, and those areas focus on screening as well. So one of the things that we see oftentimes is that when African Americans particularly, we're getting screened later, and so that there are certain conditions that are not being diagnosed early enough so that the prevention is not happening or the treatment is not being initiated in order to affect the purposeful change to promote healing. And so one of the things, to answer your question, is that I would really encourage us to, make sure that you are finding a primary care provider that you feel comfortable talking to. So I mentioned we have 2 locations. We're taking new patients, but we hire from the community, so we have our staff that looks like our patients, right? So we are familiar with what our community is going through, but again, we talk with you, we educate you, but we also meet you where you are, because sometimes, providers may try to outrun you to your goal. I'm not going to leave you behind. We're going to walk hand in hand to get to the goal so that you are an active partner in your health care, and that's what community health centers do. We go beyond beyond the walls of the building to reach the community where they are, to try to take them where they need to go. So how do you help support community health centers? Go to their websites, promote their initiatives, but really also, just understand that we are in the community to help you, and ultimately we're trying to get the word out through marketing and promotions and interviews like this, because we're doing great work. We just need for you to know about the work that we're doing.
Dr. Murray, you said something that got me riled up, because I'm thinking about maybe trying to enroll. It is so hard right now, and this is why I'm glad we have you here. Did you say you all were accepting new patients? I mean, it is. Me and my wife have called, and it's like you can't see somebody until 6-7 months. By that time, you done died already. So you all are taking you all are taking new patients?
We are taking new patients, and here's the thing. I think one of the things that you have to, definitely understand is that, there are a lot of great entities that are providing health care across the spectrum. There are for-profit entities, there are not-for-profit entities, but I really want, and I encourage my family, my friends, my sorority sisters, you need to have a provider you can talk to, somebody that's going to understand you. Every provider that's out there may not understand you, but it's worth finding the one and doing the work until you find the one that you connect with. So, yes, we're taking new patients, and I'm going to drop our phone numbers right now. So 414-372-8080, and that's our MOK Central City location, and 414-760-3900. That is our Northwest location, our Isaac Coggs Center on 82nd and Silver Spring. But we are taking new patients for all of our disciplines. Again, it's important for you to have, all of our listeners, to have a primary care provider that they can connect with, one that understands the community and understands the disparities in order to speak our language, really, to make purposeful change, not just in our bodies, but in our families and our communities. One of the things that we have found is that we have to expand in a way that's going to enable us to teach, prevent, employ, build, influence, and prosper in a way that's going to help alter our community dynamics. We understand when the family unit is healthier, our communities are healthier, and that's what we're trying to drive at MHSI.
Doc, I want to ask you if at some point I would love to have you in the studio and we talk a lot longer, because I got a boatload of questions, to be honest with you. And I don't know, the radio may get mad at me, but I like to start asking my own questions. So what do you see as, because here's one of the things that I think, and you let me know if I'm wrong, it's so hard to buy healthy foods because it's expensive. But yet I'll get up and I'll see kids going to the gas station, and potato chips, sugar, it's like $1.99. Apple, is $2. How do you help us get to a point where, number one, we have to get past the come to Jesus point and go, hey, either we're going to take our health as a community seriously, and what does that look like? How do you all help people go, you have to get to a point where you can't just survive off of sugar and all the things that's put into 90% of this stuff out here now? How do you help us with that?
Well, it's a number of different things, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you look at in areas, when you drive our cities, right? For all of our listeners, just pay attention at the number of grocery stores versus gas stations and corner stores and liquor stores and those types of things. There are food deserts, right? And so the accessibility of healthy foods is lower than it is for unhealthy foods. And so sometimes we have to figure out, how do we get in the faces of our lawmakers to say, hey, we need a grocery store here? It's very interesting that not too long ago, within the last year, I think there's a Century not too far from our COGS facility on like 60th and Silver Spring. And that was pivotal because the closure of that Walmart that was on the other direction on West Silver Spring was pivotal and a huge loss for the community. But I think that we have to start having these conversations. We need to start investing in our community gardens and really making sure that our lawmakers know, hey, we need grocery stores, we need healthy foods. We need to start looking at what we're feeding our children in our schools in order for them to learn and think and grow, in order for them to matriculate to to be the young, kings and queens that they are uniquely designed to be. I think it starts with the nutrition. And so we have to have those purposeful conversations. But even beyond that, we have to think before we do. Let's make an active decision to start thinking about the things that we're putting into our bodies. It's so easy, when we just turn on the TV or we can order food to our home. Nobody's willing to do the work. We have to do the work to get the results. So let's get outside of the walls of our home. Let's get some exercise. Let's do the work to make sure that our lawmakers know that we need healthy foods in our communities, in our schools. We need those healthy grocery stores with good food options. We have to make sure we're having the conversations and getting in front of the right people to move the needle, because health doesn't change unless we make it change. And this is an active decision on all of our parts to do the work to make sure our communities are healthier. People are dying by the second, by the minute. I'm sure you've looked around. People our age, right?
Yeah.
People didn't die as young. Our friends, our colleagues, our brothers and sisters are dying with preventable diseases. We have to make sure that we are doing our part to make sure that our communities are healthier. And it starts with having conversations within our home and then extending those conversations to our lawmakers and making that purposeful change. It's not going to happen by accident. It is really by intentionality and really those active efforts and conversations. We could talk all day about this. I'm super passionate about it. I will take you up on your offer to come into the studio. We can talk ad nauseum about this, but we have to make sure we are doing right by both our babies and our elders and everybody in between. Our health and our community depends on it.
I'm going to hold you to that, Dr. Williams-Murray, Chief Medical Officer, one of the Milwaukee Health Clinics, because I love what you're saying, and I want to devote more time with you, because it's a boatload of things from, like you mentioned, the policy side, and I'm so glad you said it. Take a look at our communities when you drive by and see how we are, from a health point of view, not in the greatest situation, and just how do we develop a plan? I would love to get more of you. I'm going to make sure we reach out and schedule that, because I want to have you in and go through, again, I'm going to get greedy, a litany of stuff that I just think is important. And one, I really thank you so much, because, and again, I'll end this and let you go, but to your point, I've noticed a number of young, I'm 50, African-American women in our age range who have passed away, younger brothers in my age range. And it's been a lot, Doc, to be honest with you. When you see these people and you go, could we have done something in our communities that would have, prevented some of this stuff? And so I would love to have those kind of conversations with you. And thank you. I'll give you the last word before we let you out of here.
Oh, absolutely. I just wanted to let everybody know. I have already told you at Milwaukee Health Services what we're doing. This is really to highlight National Health Center Week, but we are taking new patients for our full spectrum primary care. But I would be remiss if I did not let you all know we have some specialty services. We have an African-American podiatrist at our sites. We have dentists, behavioral health. We specialize in HIV and hepatitis C care. We have WIC at both of our departments. We have staff who assist with navigating insurance portals, those that assist with housing, transportation, and food assistance. We have on-site radiology, pharmacy, and lab. We started the first teaching health center in Wisconsin just last year. We are your one-stop shop for providing several medical services for patients of any age. And so I encourage you, I implore you to call our clinics, 414-372-8080 for our MLK Heritage Health Center, and 414-760-3900 for our Isaac Coggs facility. Together, we will make the change that we want to see, but it's going to start with each of us. So won't you join me and meet me at MHSI? I'll see you soon.
Dr. Veronica Williams-Murray, Chief Medical Officer of one of our greatest organizations, Milwaukee Community Health Clinics. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you, and we will have you back. On the other side, we're going to finish more of our discussion on the Dr. Ken Harris Show. Brian, we're going to take you after we return from the break, talking about just Kamala Harris, the race, and just hoping you stay on and join us on the other side. This is The Truth on the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Garage doors giving you a headache? Best way I know how to deal with it is to call my friends at Geis. Family owned since 1955, Geis is the trusted authority on garage doors and openers in southeastern Wisconsin. Trust me, I use them too. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they've done doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For fast, reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com or call 262-784-4250.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
Hey y'all, have you heard of Liberate MKE? We're building power for our community for our voices to be heard. We are addressing community issues by redistributing funds from the city budget into public health, housing, libraries, and more. Did you know the Milwaukee Police Department got $300 million last year and public health didn't even get a fraction of that? We're focused on funding life, not violence. If you want to be a part of that, come join us. You can find us at liberatemke.com.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place and instead of what you came for, you found a phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Diamonds peekaboo. Ooh, woo. I done for the crew. Ooh, woo.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. Brian from Milwaukee, you are on The Truth 101.7. What you got for us?
Hey, I think we need to pump our brakes on the hype train with Ms. Harris.
Okay.
We need to go back through her record and look at the egregious things that she's done and her things that she has not done. So we need to pump the brakes on the hype train.
But, Brian, let me ask you this question. It's only her and Donald Trump.
Exactly.
So are you saying pump your brakes on her and vote for Trump?
I was going to vote for Trump anyway.
Okay.
I lived through the Trump presidency. I saw all the highs and lows, the good things and the benefits that I received during the time he was president.
Okay.
The 3.5 years, it was real good for me. I mean, I'm a businessman.
No, I can appreciate that. So you feel like he's a better candidate for the future
He's a better candidate for my particular needs. He's a better candidate for the progression of capitalism through this country. However, what I wanted to address was Kamala Harris. Okay. She is the one that says she's not going to do anything specific for black folks. She is the one that says America is not racist. Okay? She is the one that says these things. Now, unless she's going to do an about-face, write an executive order for black men that are routinely killed by white cops with no Vaseline, then I'm not going to support her.
Yeah, but Brand, Donald Trump is talking about giving them immunity. So you can't say that with her.
I want to address that too.
Okay.
Donald Trump just said that. You know how Donald Trump says things just off the cuff. He doesn't mean anything that's egregious.
Bro, now you holding him to a standard you ain't holding her to.
Well,
they both politicians. They both go say whatever they need to be said.
True. But listen to this. There were no egregious, crazy shootings during the Trump presidency. All those crazy shootings, the public shootings happened under Obama, and then recently under Biden. Democratic rule. But see, that's just the luck of the draw sometimes. My problem with the Democratic Party and Ms. Harris is the Democratic agenda. The Democratic agenda goes contrary to the way black folks want to live their lives. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
We black folks enjoy our gas-powered cars. We black folks enjoy our freedom of not being forced to do certain things. We don't want to be forced into electric cars. Now, there are two competing, I call them shadow governments that are competing for the future of this country. If we get Donald Trump in office, everything is business as usual. Capitalism flourishes. The republic is intact. If we put a Democrat in that highest office, that's going to tell those people that are in the shadow government that, hey, we can bring in all the AI, all the robots, all the climate change directives that we want because, hey, you voted for it. You voted for Kamala. You let her sneak diss you into voting for something that's contrary to the way you live your life. Now, personally, I love looking at Kamala. I love to look at Ms. Harris way more than I like to look at Trump. But my issue is the future of my children and the future of what I'm accustomed to and the future of how this country is set up. I'm not ready for a radical draconian change. But if we vote for a Democrat, that's exactly what we're going to get. We may get it under Trump, too. But at least the first 2 years, they always let you have 2 years of pushback. So that's why I would go with the lesser of two evils, and that's why I would go with Trump.
I disagree with you. Jay, wanted to. I keep thinking I'm twice your age, bro.
Listen, Brian,
twice his age.
I do got to push back on some of the stuff you just said. On one of the things when you just said there was no mass shootings under Trump, because I'm looking at it now. November 2007, 26 people was killed in a church in Texas. 2018, 17 people killed at a high school in Florida. 2018, 10 people killed in Texas at a high school. 2018, 11 people killed at a synagogue in Pennsylvania. 2018, 12 people killed at a restaurant in California. 2019, 12 people shot and killed at an office building in Virginia. In 2019, 22 people were killed at a Walmart in Texas. So it was some mass shootings under Trump as well. I'm just gonna say that.
I understand the mass. The mass shootings, to me, a lot of times those are, quote unquote, we don't like to say that on this air, but we black folks are not stupid. The problem with those types of shootings is certain people in our, quote unquote, government think everybody was raised under a 7th grade reading level. And so a lot of those things we just don't, we can't fathom, we can't really believe. But that's their issue, and they do the crisis actor thing, and so be it.
So, Brett, last question, man. And so you because it sounded to me, and I can respect you for having, feeling like, hey, this dude, based on my own individual, where I'm at, he's better for me. I can respect that. So the Project 2025 stuff, none of that stuff matters to you.
None of that stuff even has anything to do with Trump. That stuff
Brian.
comes from a Heritage Foundation.
Brian, half the people in this administration wrote it. You really believe?
Yeah, but he first of all, he repudiates the people in his administration.
He got to.
Trump, I'm going to tell you something. Black folks can get more with Trump than we can get with Kamala Harris or anybody in the Democratic Party, because their agenda is hell-bent on climate change. Everything about climate change, everything about their science, their religion of science that they want to do. They want to be draconian with that stuff.
Right. I understand some of the stuff you saying, bro. Brad, I just gave out $12 million, mostly to black people because of Biden and Kamala Harris. So when you say that, my organization, these ARPA dollars, the dollars that came in, that was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The Wisconsin Black Chamber got millions. The Madison Black Chamber, the Urban League. There's a lot of black organizations that got money. Now, whether you agree with they know what they're doing with it or not, but they got money under this Biden-Harris administration. Millions, Brad.
Who's doing all the construction? Who's doing all this construction for all this money?
We only got 2-3 black construction companies. You got JCP calling.
If they got that amount of money, I guarantee you they don't retire by now.
No.
$12 million for this, that, and the other?
No, I've given out $12 million in $10,000 installments. The point is this. We got some money, man. We got some money.
Right. We got money, yeah. But see, that's good. That's good that y'all put out money like that. But the bottom line is, my problem is with their overall agenda. You know, they kept her quiet. They done kept her quiet because they know that's why they lost 2016. They done kept AOC mute. But if you and they couldn't do anything with Biden because Biden got some physical and mental issues, and they didn't want to bring that agenda in there. I got grandkids, 12 grandkids, kids. I'm trying to make sure my kids have a future.
And you believe that's what Donald Trump as the president.
Listen.
B, I'm going to have to take you to dinner just so we can have a lively discussion. So, listen, I want to thank you, Brad, for that call. Yeah, man, we going to definitely have to talk. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you are where you at. I disagree with some of it. I disagree with a lot of it. And I think you got to be mindful of saying, well, this is their agenda, particularly when you black, because I'll say this. A black agenda is 9 times different from a Republican or a Democratic agenda. It doesn't really matter. To be quite honest, those are two different wings on the same bird. And so when you're talking about policy, if you're looking at as a community, that's one thing. If you're taking, hey, this is what's best for me as an individual. Okay, if you believe that, I'm not going to tell you, nothing different. I don't know how you got there, but it is what it is. I mean, I think you got to be very careful and mindful of when you just start saying stuff, because to Jason's point, when you start echoing those kinds of things, you're not factually accurate, So now we're getting into your opinion versus what's really real. So, no, that was Jay. That was you and Zach. Yeah, that was a great discussion. Comments from the people that I'm twice as old.
Man, we was back. We were back here. We was trying to figure out what was going on. We was trying to figure out what was being talked about, because it was just a lot of. I appreciate the call though, but it was just a lot of misinformation being spread on that.
Yeah, and I think that's what if you say these are the policies that help me. That's one thing. I think when you try to apply those on a whole board, and then it's some inaccuracies, like black folks won't fare well under the Democratic Party. Anybody who knows Jason Fields will tell you, look, I done had it out with members of the Democratic Party in a serious way, to the point where they got people to run against me. So I ain't no stranger to not walking in lockstep and key with people, because I've always said I'm black first. But that being said, you can't sit here and deny that with Joe Biden, the economy has been better. With the unemployment has been better. You cannot deny with all the opera dollars that came, it was a lot of black folks that got money. Now, you can disagree with who got the money, what they did with it, but let's not say they didn't get money. Also, for people who are in school, you don't have to agree with it, but I know for a fact a number of people got their school loans forgiven, and that helps black folks. So, you know, if you say this is my personal reason, I get that. But to take a broad brush and just go, you know, this is we have to look at her policies. You all elected officials got good and bad policies. I mean, you can't be an elected official and not have some bad votes or some things people disagree with. So you're going to have that. My issue with Bray, and I'm glad he called in, was you can't hold her to a standard that you're not willing to hold everybody else to, because now you're kind of being a little unfair. So we'll have more of this conversation on the other side. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame, Dollar, Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless Ready-to-Drink Cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
I want to stress the importance of a positive mindset. Everything begins as a thought before it ever becomes an action. So it's extremely important to purposely place yourself in positive spaces to help shape and nurture those thoughts. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Telly, let's be realistic. Look, I get it. You may work with people with bad energy, or you may even be related to people who are negative by nature. In this journey called life, there will be many things that come your way that's out of your control. But what you can control is how you respond. Understand this. You have the right to either tap in or tap out of whatever energy that may come your way. And that's how you can control and protect your positive spaces. The mind is where it all starts, and if your thoughts are centered around positivity, you'll see how things begin to transform. You'll see a noticeable difference between things happening for you versus things always happening to you. You begin to grow through situations as opposed to just going through tough situations. Make it a priority to surround yourself with positive people and create those positive spaces and begin to experience the fruits of what a positive mindset can produce. Trust me, it takes work to creating these spaces, and you have to be intentional about it. And I'm committed to putting in the work because I'm living proof that it's well worth the peace a positive mindset brings.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
An accident on southbound 43 really tying things up. It is at Fond du Lac Avenue, and the right lane is blocked. Delays are stretching back almost all the way through to Capitol Drive, so careful with that. Northbound's going to be slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. Westbound 94, really heavy out of the Marquette interchange all the way through the Stadium interchange to about Hawley Road. We do have on the ramp from 175 southbound to 94 eastbound a crash right now. That's off on the right shoulder as well. East Eastbound 94 itself is going to be slow from 76th Street all the way to about 35th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy and comfortable, a low of 63. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, a high of 74 at the lake, 78 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth. It's powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. The Brewers are back in action today in Atlanta as they begin a 3-game set. They open up the day with a 6-game lead in the NL Central. Colin Ray expected to get the start for the Crew. First pitch is set for 6:20. Over to the NFL as the Packers hit the practice field for the first time this week following their family night over the weekend. Head coach Matt LaFleur confirming some starters, including Jordan Love, are expected to get some snaps in the team's first preseason game on Saturday in Cleveland.
Last year, having all the guys play, I thought it was beneficial for us early on, especially week one. We'll be smart with them, but at the same time, I do think the preparation of getting ready for a game is invaluable.
And lastly, Giannis's run in the Olympics came to an end after Greece fell to Germany by a final score of 76-73. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You know, you make me feel so good inside. I've always wanted a girl just like you. You're such a PYT, pretty young thing. Ooh. Where did you come from, baby?
This is the truth in the afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from American Family Insurance Studio in the Avenue of the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. The 101.7 The Truth Street Team, sponsored by UW Credit Union, is coming to an event near you. Join The Truth this Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Washington Park for Washington Park Wednesdays. There's food, games, and plenty of entertainment for everyone to enjoy. Also, join The Truth this Saturday for the United Negro College Fund Walk-Run, starting at 8 a.m. at Veterans Park in downtown Milwaukee. This event will help raise money to provide black students with scholarships to attend college. The 101.7 The Truth Street Team is sponsored by UW Credit Union. They are here they are here for everyone. Somebody made an error on what I was reading, so my bad. You know, I always forget, because Jay, you play some good music. Sometimes I forget that I'm on the radio. It's like I'm chilling at home. So I want to thank you all today, because it's been a wonderful, good discussion. And I'm glad we had Brian call in, because I think it's good for us to hear, you know, a number of different, you know, scenarios. And it reminds me of, I was watching something on video, and the person was telling a story, Jay and Zach. He said, you know, it was a black businessman, and he said he went to China, and he was meeting with some of the heavy hitters in China. And he said the guy, this was like organized crime stuff. He said, you know, he went in there to make some deals, and he was saying how the boss in China was saying, you know, black culture, the world, we take everything from you all. You all invented everything. And he said, the man from China, he said, the boss from China was saying this, from music to inventions. He said, you know, the world has taken everything from black people. You all give the world culture, inventions, technology, all this stuff. He said, but here's the one thing you all don't have: unity. And as I thought about it, man, and it goes into some of these discussions, we are the only people who, I don't want to say we're the only people, because everybody has subsets or groups and they don't all agree, but we have a tendency to rarely make decisions of working together, even when we have different sort of philosophies. Here's what I mean by that. I've sat in rooms with white Democrats and white Republicans and other folks, and I've sat where they all could disagree. But at the same time, at some point, people understood when it was time for them to come together, they did that. When I look at us sometimes, I see how black men, black women, that whole thing, for crying out loud, you can turn on any social media platform right now and you'll see some black group of men or black group of women talking about how black men own this and how black women own this. Just everybody named mama. And I'm sitting there like, and I don't know if it's true, but I have not seen a group of white women saying white men ain't this. I've never seen a group of Asian women saying Asian men ain't this. But everywhere on social media platform, you will find some brothers or sisters talking bad about one another and why we all can't put up with each other. And what it leads me to believe is that, you know, the fact that we still haven't come together and recognized our own power. And will we ever get there? Sometimes when I'm talking to God, Jay and Zach, I ask them, what did the first brother do that we so messed up? Like, why the punishment so harsh? Jay, you got something for me?
It's crazy that because I know it's an old saying that they scared for black people to stick together. That's their worst fear, but that is the truth.
It makes sense.
We created civilization. We created all of this. Every single invention you can think of, we created. So they know, even if they gave us just half of what they got, we would make magic off of that. So they scared of that.
You know, one of the old-time elected officials, she was from a different state. She said this to me. She said, when they come after you, they gonna send somebody you know. It scared the hell out of me. One, I made sure, let me not do nothing wrong or illegal. But then it was just, I mean, you think about throughout history, man. And you think about all the times where some horrific happened, the Malcolm X's, a lot of times it was us, man, and opened up the door. And I think about politics. And a lot of times in politics, this is what you'll see. You get some successful black person who can lead the masses, and it won't be long before you find another group, small, independent group of black people that will be paraded to go against that person. And I'm not saying we can't and we shouldn't have differences, but you don't see that all the time with other people. You know, when it was Obama, they came out, it was Michael Steele, who was the first black, I think, our Republican National Committee president or chairman, and now he reported on in MSNBC, because I think at some point it used to be, you know, we can have our differences, but we can still work together, which is why I think when you looked at Colin Powell, why he endorsed Barack Obama. While you look at, even though I don't believe Michael Steele is a huge Kamala fan, I can tell you he on record as a black Republican not voting for Donald Trump. And this was the former president of the Republican Party, a black man. And so it does make you wonder, at what point do we step up our game and get to a point where, despite our differences, we can unify? And just the logical question to some black folks, do you want to be the black person that they use to go after other black people? We used to ask them questions, man. I've seen it in my career. And go to some black folks. Do you really want to be the black person they put up to take out other black people? You cool with that? Because they don't care about you. So we'll have more of this conversation on the other side before we close. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
When your child has an asthma attack, it's terrifying. You grab the inhaler as fast as you can. My son Khalil, he can't live without his inhaler, but they're expensive. The big drug companies charge families like ours $600 a month. And you know what they actually cost to make? $5. Just $5. That's why Senator Tammy Baldwin launched an investigation to crack down on those companies. And you know what? Tammy Baldwin got 3 of the biggest drug companies to lower the price of inhalers to no more than $35 a month. Tammy Baldwin, that's big savings for my family and for a lot of families. We're breathing a lot easier. There are politicians who do a lot of talking, but Tammy Baldwin, she delivers.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I'm running for Senate, and I approve this message. I don't work for the drug companies. I work for you. Paid for by Tammy Baldwin for Senate.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
Cousin Subs features only the finest Wisconsin-made cheeses and dairy on their menu in support of the dairy farmers of Wisconsin. And now, the time has come for even more cheese, as Cousins is happy to introduce their new Cheddar Supreme Cheese Sauce. Order this cheesy treat on their new cheese fries, or add cheese sauce to your favorite sub. More cheese? Yes, please. Order today at any location, online, or via Cousins mobile app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Connie's Compassionate Care is a Wisconsin Medicaid Badger Care Plus benefit program designed to help pregnant women retain the support and services needed to have a healthy baby, from medical appointments, transportation, and health education support. So, if you or anyone you know can benefit from our agency, call 414-550-7521 to speak with Lasagna. Connie's Compassionate Care has got you covered.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I'm Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. And we've had a great discussion on just the roles that race plays, you know, how we should be looking at some of this. How are you all looking at it? We started out with, you know, can a person be bigoted and racist and still have a decent relationship with a person of color? To which I want to say maybe 10 out of 10 of you said yes. And looking at the standards that when we talk about Vice President Kamala Harris compared to a former President Donald Trump, and how does race play in a lot of that? And I think if you looked at if any other individual was accused of all the things that former President Donald Trump was accused of, that person would have been under the jail by now. And if we begin to co-sign and endorse, that for one person, then these same people will have no leg to stand on when you're talking about being tough on crime and all this other stuff. Because it does seem to be, not just a disparity, but a willingness to apply certain laws to certain people. And I believe what you're starting to see is a real change in, generations. Because I think one of the things that the older generation has to deal with is sometimes the hypocrisy. And I've noticed it myself, man. I mean, 50 years old, I'm looking at some young folks and I'm seeing some of the stuff they do. Jay, I did the same stuff, man, back in the day. So I can't really, I used to sag a little bit. I can't lie. Now, I don't want to see your butt. I'm older. Ain't nothing to see. But I think you have to understand, man, that, hypocrisy is real. And when we start holding people to a standard that you're not applying to everybody, that's a problem. And I see that in this presidential election. And I believe Hetty said it best. This really is not about Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. This is about democracy and where are we going as a nation. And whether or not we are going to allow the same people with money and power to get away with stuff or not. At the end of the day, that's really what it boils down to. Are we going to allow certain people to get away with breaking rules or not? And what happened to the systems, the balances and checks that were supposed to be in place? We're seeing those corrode as we speak. Where Supreme Court justices, maybe they were bought off and we didn't know it, but you see it now. Where a president can get up and lie consistently and no one says a word. At some point, man, if you sit by a while and do nothing, what do we expect? So you all make sure you continue to get out and vote and support, not just on the federal level, but your local level, because local elections tend to affect you directly, even more quicker. And so with that, you all, I will be back tomorrow, and I believe we'll be having some conversations on NPS. Always a fun topic. So I want to say goodbye to you all. You've been listening to Jason Fields filling in for Dr. Ken on The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks, Jay.